Chavra, let's start with the Chazara. It's Thursday night. That means Shabbos, a long Shabbos. We got to figure out a way somehow over Shabbos to get a Chazar in. Critically important. But for now, let's pick it up on Mem Amid Beis. And we're going to do a partial Chazara from last night. So we're middle of a Machlokes Rav Elazar and Rav Yochanan. I would like to go a drop faster in anticipation that hopefully over Shabbos there will be strong Chazara. So I'm going to do a Chazara now. Pedal to the metal. Here we go. Amar Rav Elazar. We're going to pick it up from there. Remember, maybe about 8 lines down. The Machlokes Rav Elazar and the Rav Yochanan. Whether Shvius is a Mischaleles, whether Shemitah can be Kedusha transferred only via Derech Mekach Umemkar, or also via Chilul. Also via just transferring the Kedusha. So Amar Rav Elazar in Shvius Mischaleles Ela Derech Mekach. Only by Mekach Umemkar, only buying and selling. Rav Yochanan Amar, Bein Derech Mekach, Bein Derech Chilul. Both. So, as always, you just got to know the setup of the Gemara. You got two shitos. Step number 1 is Y, or Mikar. Step number 2 is pinning each against each other. Step number 3 is rayos to each one. Okay, so that's the din. Step 1. Step 2, my time of Rav Elazar, what's the Mikar? Techsiv, Mishnah Zayevel Azais. And near that pasuk it says, Simchor Mimkar. From there we learn out, Derech Mekach, Veloy Derech Chilul. Rav Elazar, Rav Yochanan, my taima, Dersiv, Ki Yaveli Kodesh, Ma Kodesh, Hektish, Bein Derech Mekach, Bein Derech Chilul. Av Shvius, Bein Derech Mekach, Bein Derech Chilul. Period. So again, step 1, Shita. Step 2, Mikar. Step 3, why is A not like B and B not like A? For Rav Yochanan, what does he do with Rav Elazar's pasuk? Hi, ki simkar mimkar. My ovidle, what does he do with that pasuk? Titania, we learned in a Bryce of Yisrachanina. Bore, come and see. Kama koshav kashal shvius. A totally different din. How do we know Shemitah is terrible? Kamakosha, difficult, even the avka, the dust of Shemitah. Adam naisin bebeir shvius. One who does business with the fruit of Shemitah. L'soif, you know what's going to happen? Moicher es metaltulav es Caleb. You're going to have to sell everything you own. Shenemar, the pasuk says, Bishnas hayovel azois tashulu isha al chuzasoi. And nearby it says, Mimkar Lami Secher. Period. That's Rav Yochanan. We throw the ball back for Rav Elazar. What does he do with Rav Yochanan's pasuk? Hi, Krod Rav Yochanan by Avidle. Mibayile Lichnetanya. We need it for the following brisa. Ki yovel hi kodesh. Ma kodesh. So now we have a new din. Let's hone in. Ma kodesh toifes es damov. The hektish grabs all to the money. Av shavias toifes es dameho. Period. So again, step 1, din. Step 2, mikar, source. Step 3, what does each one do with the other one? Step 4, Tanya Kavasi Rav Elazar. Betani Kavasi Rav Yochanan. A raya to each. Tanya Kavasi Rav Elazar. Shvius Teifesis says the male, says the Brisa. Shemitah grabs hold of the money. Shenemar Kiyavali Kodesh Yalochem. Ma Kodesh Hakdish Teifes says Damav. The Aser Av Shvius says Damav Asura. As we mentioned, once we quote a Brisa, we quote it in its entirety. Ask the Gemara. Ima kodesh went regular din of hektish. Toifes damav. It grabs hold of the money. V'yoytzil chulin. And the item itself is not holy. If I have a hektish piece of beef, a hektish dollar, I transfer the sanctity to something else. The kedusha transfers literally, and the item is left with no kedusha. Av shavias, so too by Shemitah. It should be the same thing. Toifeses estameo. It should grab hold of the money. V'yotzes lochulin. Says the Gemara, no. Shemitah is special. Talmud loymar tihiyeh. A chiddush about Shemitah, b'hav yosoi tehei, that Shemitah maintains the Kedusha even after transfers, which of course is something that the brain has a hard time understanding, because if you transfer, then it doesn't stay. If I transfer $100 to your account, it's not on my account. It would be a nice miracle if I could transfer you money and still keep it on my own. But says the Gemara, that's guess what happens? The Kedusha of Shmi's transfers, but it itself remains holy. But now the question is, how far does it go? Haketzad.
Like a Milan Bekodesh, a Marilyn aspect, or
It's even more than Ma'ilin B'Kodesh.
meaning
It's
once it's Kodesh, it can't.
Oh,
Kodesh.
so we're going to see. No, that's a nice idea. We're going to see it's not really true, because eventually it does transfer. Just that Shemitah has an extra level to it. So let's see. Haketzad, says the Gemara. How is this possible? No. Lokach beiroi shviyas. If you buy where it says a chazar, if we buy with beiroi shviyas basar, I have my apples and I buy beef. What's the halacha? So we just said tihiyah maintains the kedusha. Elu va'elu, both of them. Mitbarin b'shviyas literally means consumed. They both have kedusha shviyas. Next step. Lokach be'basar ya dogim. You buy with meat fish. Yotza basar. The meat does not, it literally yotza, it goes out. V'nechnesu dagim. The fish comes in with kedusha. Lokach b'dagim yayin. You buy with fish wine. Yotzu dagim. The fish does not have kedusha. V'nechnes yayin, and the wine, yes, has kedusha. Lokach b'yayin shemen. I'm sure you're all wondering, like, the Gemara did not have to give us 6 steps to prove its point. Could have just did one. Yeah, I don't know. Lokach b'yayin shemen. You ply with the wine oil. Yatsa yayin, the wine goes out. V'nichnas shemen. Yeah. Yeah, but it's true. Like, why 6? Give me 10. Why 10? Give me 3. Says the Gemara. So what's the yisoid? What's the rule? Haketzad acharoin ichnas b'shviyas. The kedusha keeps on going, one to the next, to the next, to the next. But upri atzmai asur, the original fruit always maintains kedusha. So that's why it's not exactly Mailim B'Kodesh, because at some level it's transferring, but the original fruit doesn't leave. End of Brisa. So now explains the Gemara. Correct. Midikatani lokach. For the fact that it says purchase, lokach. Alma, what do we see? Derech mekach, in. That it only works via a purchase. Derech chilul loi. Does not work. What was the problem? We couldn't share? I don't understand. I'm joking. Derech mekach in. It's all good. I was joking around with you. Derech chilul loi. Rabbi Yaakov was showing us that when you come late this year, you don't make a ganze scene. You know, sometimes someone walks in late. It's like, I got it, you're late. Why do you have to make a, okay, you sit down and you listen, That was the lesson. Shkoyach. Says the Gemara. So what do we see? What's the raya to Rav Elazar? That it's dafka, specifically derech mekach. Now, parenthetically, we learned some other halachas of Shemitah also, how the kedusha transfers. Next brayso, Tanya. This is that way. Period. That was the end of Chazar. So now we're gonna have one more shtickle, new Gemara.
Is that what they actually do during Shemitah now? Like they just trade speed?
So it's a problem. It's a problem because then the original item never loses its kedusha, so it doesn't really help you. Really, all we really want. Yeah, that's no. It's Shvitz is not part of the Elef. Yeah, but the first item is the only item you ever need. First item is your esrog. You need to get your esrog. The fact that now the kedusha keeps it going, it doesn't help you. It hurts you. But yeah, I know Chanami. It is a challenge. Tanya kavase de Rav Yochanan. Next, Araya to Rav Yochanan. Echad shviyas, ve'echad meiser sheni. So brisa, both Shemitah and meiser sheni mitchalelin can be literally, again, mitchalel means transferred is an English way. The official translation is deconsecrated, which means kedusha is transferred, like you said, transfer. Mitchalelin, the kedusha is transferred. The reason why it's like one of those words, like in high school, like you look up an art scroll, like deconsecrating, like you ran your guitar. Someone says, "What does the word mean? Deconsecrated." The guy walks away and he says, "What does deconsecrated mean?" Like, I got no clue. That's what art school says. That's what happened to me.
It sounds almost like a negative connotation, like chilul. Like
Deconsecrated.
right, it's losing its kedusha. It's not.
That is what it means. Yeah.
Not just that it's transferring.
Holding.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good, very good. Anyways, mitchalelin al behema. So Shavias Meiser Sheni is transferred onto a behema, chaya, va'oif, any type of livestock, bein chayin, whether it's alive, bein shchutin, whether it's shechtin. Every Rebbe Meir. Okay. Chachamim Aimrim, no. Al shchutin mischalelin. You can transfer it on to something that was shechted, but al chayin on something alive, ein mitzchalelin. Why not? Gezerah shema yigodel mehen adorim. You might, yigodel means to raise, mehen with them, adorim, flax. So an interesting din. We're learning how to transfer the kedusha of Shvius and Meiser Sheni, and we have a machlokes whether it is only on alive animals or even shech. Before we understand what the Gemara just said, but we have a raya. Look at Rashi. Look at Rashi. The raya was from that first word, mitchalelin. Zokt Rashi, the third wide line. Mashma, derech, chilo, bipidia, redemption, transferring, like you said. So the raya is very simple. We brought down this brisa for one reason as a raya. What's the raya? Derech, chilo, and not derech melech. Now, what is the brisa actually saying? That is a little bit more complicated. We have a machlokes. Is it only on livestock or even, is the machlokes, is it only on shchutin, only on dead stock, or even livestock? Now, why would you not be able to transfer the kedusha onto a live animal? Says the Gemara, it's a gezerah, which of course gezerah means a din derabanan, a concern. Shema yigodel, you may raise flocks. What does that mean? Let's look at Rashi. And then flock. An idar is a flock, like a group of animals.
You're saying it's going to be
Oh.
flock.
Good. What does it mean? So what does it mean?
Doesn't it get transferred from the mother to the baby?
Let's see. Zok Rashi. Shem yigodel mehem.
Or does it like split the quarter?
Let's see. Zok Rashi. Shem yigodel mehem. Yishim etzloi. He's going to keep it by himself. Ligadel, to raise Vladois. Very good. Offsprings. Vinimsen, you know what's going to come out. Mashem Maisroisov. You're going to be delaying, holding on to Meiser. The halacha is you got to utilize your Meiser Sheni. You can't hold on to it. And we're worried maybe this Betsy is going to be the one you want to raise. And you're going to come out, your Masha Maisroisov. And the Torah says, Shana v'achla. Okay, we'll pick up from here. That is the raya. So again, the four steps are the source, the mekar, why each one does hold of the other, and the raya from the brisa. Let's try to get a chazar, at least to this amid. If not, go back to Amid Aleph, B'siyat Shemaya over Shabbat.